Hello everybody. In this module, we're going to explore gains from trade. And in particular, we're going to discuss concepts such as division of labor, specialization, as well as absolute comparative advantage in terms of trade. But let's start off by talking about these first two concepts, division of labor and specialization. So you may have heard of these concepts before, but if you haven't, you've probably seen them in action. So what division of labor is, it's the allocation of different jobs to different people. And we're going to think of this as being more efficient because different people are, better at different things. And usually the more you do something, the better you get at it, which we call learning by doing in economics. And so you've seen this in action. I mean, think of the last time you went into a fast food restaurant. Well, you didn't go up to the front. You didn't give your order. The cashier didn't take your order, go to the back, make your food, bring it back to you and ring you up, and then go to the next person. No, they've divided this job of making your meal up into different parts. You have someone doing the cash. They may be really good at customer service. And the more they do the cash, the better they get. The faster they get at ringing things through, the less mistakes they make. Same with the kitchen. Some people are just better at multitasking in the kitchen. And the more you do that, the better you get. You get used to your space. You get used to the cook time, things like that. So you've seen this concept of division of labor you see this concept of division of labor all the time. So what specialization does is it kind of extends this concept to a product. So instead of thinking about dividing one job up into many smaller parts, this is about, one country or one person is going to concentrate on the production of one thing, one different good or one different service. And, as the kind of economies have developed, lots of times we see specialization in different parts of the supply chain now. We have some countries that specialize in the manufacturing of certain goods, or certain stages of productions of certain goods. Let's think back to our production possibility boundary. We had limited resources to satisfy our unlimited wants, or to accomplish our unlimited goals, which meant we had to make trade-offs. And there are some bundles of goods that we just couldn't produce. They were unattainable to us. So two ways to kind of get outside of our original production possibility boundary are going to be increases in resources or improvements in technology. These are both ways for us to get, previously unattainable bundles. So increases in resources will shift the entire production possibility boundary out. And improvements in technology of one good is going to try to change the intercept of that good. So let's take a look at this. So let's use an example where we have two goods, tacos and margaritas. And on the left-hand side, we're going to look at increases in resources. And on the right-hand side, we'll look at the effect of improvements in technology. So notice we have a production possibilities boundary with a constant slope, which means that we have constant opportunity costs. So let's start off with the left-hand Cartesian plane. So increases in resources. So currently we're at this blue line represents our production possibilities boundary. And, perhaps we want to get to this point A right here. Currently, it's not attainable to us because it's outside of that blue line. But improvements or increases in resources can help us get there. So let's just bring out the ruler. Looks all right to me. So I could just draw this new production possibility boundary. And so increases in resources are going to shift this production possibilities boundary out. And so notice that this point A now is attainable. In fact, it's definitely attainable. We're not even using all of our resources now to get there. So that's one way of getting kind of outside of your original production possibility boundary, or PPF or PPB out. So let's look at the right-hand side now. And improvements in technology. So again, let's imagine that we're on this original blue production possibilities boundary, And again, there's this point, let's call it A prime this time, which is currently sitting outside of our production possibilities boundary or frontier, which means it's unattainable. Well, the improvement in the technology of one of these goods, or both, can help us get there. So for instance, say we got a better way, say we found out a better way of producing margaritas, and so our technology has improved in the production of margaritas. Well, what's going to happen is, if I move this ruler over here, say there's a big improvement in the technology of the production of margaritas, all of a sudden, the production possibility boundaries kind of kinks out. And again, here's assuming the production, the technology and the use for tacos doesn't change. But again, this A prime now is attainable to us. And again, now it's inside of our production possibilities boundary. But the key thing here is that's another way to get outside of our original production possibilities boundary. So here are two ways to get previously unattainable bundles with either an improvement in resources or improvements in technology. There's also another way to be able to afford previously unattainable bundles, or be able to consume previously unattainable bundles, and that's through specialization in trade. Through specialization in trade, we can consume outside of our production possibilities boundary. People and countries can specialize in the production of the good, of one good, I should say, and they can trade for the other. Who should specialize in what depends on the concept of comparative advantage.